Hey everybody, John Costigan. I'm back again, and this segment is actually called Getting the Yes Before You Go Do the Work. And kind of longer version is, how do I get a commitment from a customer before I actually go to my boss and get the discount, then go back to my customer and go, there's the discount, and then you still didn't get the deal. Let me say that again. That might be one of the most frustrating things that salespeople do. I've referenced a few things that everybody in the audience raises their hand and gets frustrated with. And I even referred this to an earlier segment called What Happens Next, where, hey, have you ever run around doing a lot of work and you didn't get the deal? They're all like, yes, raise your hand if that's frustrating. Everybody raises their hand, right? Well, this is another one where part of running around doing that work is, have you ever gone to your boss or a manager, or even, let's pretend you own your own company, you did it yourself, you gave a discount, and then you still didn't get the deal? That one's going to sting. That hurts, right? So one of the things I've always said is that a customer says, back to, hey, listen, and we can go back to, is that your best price? I'm not, good question, why'd you ask? All these techniques, right? But let's just net out where we're at in the sales cycle, where let's pretend they say, listen, I need you to come down to this price. So now there's a point where they really say, it is because of budget, I need you to be here. And let's pretend you now are going to finally do this. And they say, can you get a better price? One of my favorite things to do is to say, I don't know if I can, but if I do, where do we go from there? And on my last segment of What Happens Next, I stopped that part of it because it can be a really long segment. I wanted to make this shorter for you. When they do that, what do you do if the client says to you, well, I don't know, go see if you can get a better price? They will do that. Why? I spoke earlier in segments about leverage and how important it is. If you lose the leverage, that's a big problem in sales. You want to have the leverage. And so when they say, well, I don't know, why don't you go see what you can do? And they're not going to be jerks. These these customers, they're very savvy and smart. I mean, they're very good at their jobs. And they should be, right? They're doing what's best for their company. So it's not the enemy. Remember, we're trying to help them, but you also have to respect that they're doing what's best for their people and their company as well. So they might say to you and pull the leverage back and say, well, I don't know, John, tell you what, why don't you go to your boss or go see if you can get a better price and come back and we'll see what we can do. What just happened there? They did not give you a commitment, and you start running around doing a lot of work without not knowing what happens when you get done doing the work. And the work here is beating up your boss. So in this case, one of the things I'll say to them if I say, well, if I can do that, I'm not sure if I can, where do we go from here? And when they say, well, I don't know, see if you can go do it, you got to stop. You got to go, hang on. Listen, I have no problem going in there and going to beat them up, see if I can do something for you here. But one of my biggest concerns is I go beat them up, I come back, and you go, great, let me get back to you. And then you go, hey, sorry, here's the next thing. I was just working with a woman who's a CEO of a company, a $57 million deal they were working on. And when I got engaged with them, they were 7 months down the road, and I just met her at a speaking engagement where I was speaking. And we've really built a great relationship since I just met her. And I think she realized, oh my gosh, I did exactly what you just said, John. This is a $57 million deal. And she goes, I kept going, okay, let me go do this. And then she did it, and they said, great, let me get back to you. And there was always a bad guy go, oh, well, so-and-so wants this. And she's like, all right, let me go see if I can do it. And 7 months. And so I said, I wish I would have met you back then, because I might have said to you, listen, when I go do this, what happens next? And she said, well, they would have said, I don't know. I would have said, and you go, then what do you want to do? I would have said, right, I go, then what do you want to do? They're like, what do you mean? I go, I can't continue to go to the well here and keep giving you discounts and then come back and you go, great, let me go to the next one now. Listen, if I go do this, where are we? And if they go, well, then if they say we don't have a deal, you go, okay, great. Now let me stop. And you go, really, John? You're going to walk? I'm going to go, well, there's a part you want to pull your leverage back and go, listen, I want to do business with you. I'll jump into the dark alley. You know my biggest concern is? I'm jumping into the dark alley, but you're not jumping with me. So I'll tell you what, why don't we do this? You want me to have this offer here? Let me do this. Why don't you go to your people first? So if you have somebody you need to go to get approval, because I know we keep coming back to me all the time, so why don't you go to your people and say, listen, if they can do this and this and this, are we good to go? And then once you call me back and say, yes, I just talked to them, we're good now, now you can go to your boss and go give the discount and the deal and come back and go, we're all good now. Congratulations, let's get that thing signed. Okay, so that's the point I wanted to make on this, is that I hope I wasn't too long-winded, but you want to get them to say yes or give you a commitment before you go do the work and go beat people up or make concessions if you're a business owner. You want to do that before. You want to get commitment before you go do that work. And you got to stick to your guns a little bit. You got to frame it the right way. We don't sound like a jerk. But at the end of the day, when they say, well, don't you, because they're really sharp. They're going to go, well, don't you want to do business with us, John? I'm like, I'd love to. Let me ask you a question, and then turn it on them. You know what you want to say? You go, wait, we've been talking for quite a while. Don't you want to get fixed? We're having conversations. These are your challenges. If you're making it about me, like, well, don't you want our deal? I'm like, well, I want it, but and my brain's going, I'm not going to sell my soul for it. But now, I don't say that. My brain's saying that, but I'm going to go, wait, he just tried to take back control of this by saying, well, don't you want our deal, John? I got to go, no, I'm losing control. I got to pull it back. I got to go, wait, don't you want to get fixed? We've been talking about the challenges you have. Do you want to do this or not? If you do, let's move forward, but I can't keep going to the well all the time. So anyway, great message, good selling. Hope that works for you.
Hey everybody, John Costigan here. The toughest part to any sale is getting in the door, right? Tell you what, click on the URL below this video or go to costigantraining.com/free week. Take the first step of solving this huge problem of getting in the door. It's 5 days, 5 clips, less than 5 minutes. Click on the link. We'll see you in a few seconds.